What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded. It is February 24th, 2025. It's 5:15 in the afternoon. I'm making this video a little late, but that's because I contemplated on not making one at all. However, this one's going to be really short. First of all, buy my book. It's a good one. You should read it. It might help you get better as a trader, but certainly should open up your eyes and maybe teach you something you didn't already know. That's number one. Number two, I took one trade today. That trade produced a 42.2% win. And once again, like true Jimmy fashion, I left a Volvo on the table today. But that's all right because I still make good money, more money than I used to make in 2.5 weeks of my day job, except this one only took me, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes to do it. Was a beautiful drop this morning. We'll go over here in just a second. And the other thing that we need to talk about is what? What do we need to talk about? Oh, I'll let you guys listen to the call put scenario, or I could just explain it to you, what we were looking for and what we wanted to see and what ended up happening and all the fun things. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let me get to the beginning here. So our put scenario on the Qs was to get below this white line here at 528.06. And what we were hoping for if we got below that line was a move down to our first blue line. Now, that doesn't look very impressive, but that's a pretty good move. I mean, that's a 35-cent move, 40-cent move, something like that. And I would have loved to take advantage of that. But because we were putting in lower highs, I was prepared for puts. But the move happened before the market opened. All right. So we can't jump into those puts. Likewise, on SPY, we wanted to be below this support here that I had made at 602.26. Same rule. We wanted to go from there down to our first target low. Both of those happened. They just happened before we can do anything about it. Now, we have some futures traders in our community that were able to take advantage of that move right there. And, well, they got to be done earlier than we did. And you know who you are. Kudos to you. I was told that my my call put scenario pays out 95% of the time, which is pretty impressive. I don't keep track of that, but there's a couple people in our community that do. So in this case, they were playing below, trading futures. The put line made it down to the first support. And then the call line, we were looking for on the Qs, a breach of 528.58, hoping to get up to this resistance up here. And well, as you can see, it did exactly that. Now, it was the high of day also. But let's go ahead and look at our multi-chart layout. Now, in this particular trade, I was prepared for puts. So when we turned around and headed north, I was not ready for calls. That's why I did not take calls. And quite frankly, I'm pretty glad I didn't. And I don't know that I would have taken them anyway, because these big red candles on ADD were something that made me a little bit nervous. So I don't like to play calls when ADD is aggressively moving down. If it's kind of meandering around, I'll take calls. But at the end of the day, it was a counter trend trade, and my rules for counter trend trading are we need to get on the other side of the trend line, number one, and then I want to take out the most recent resistance to its left as well. So it did all that. I just wasn't ready for calls. Well, fine. I missed that trade, but several other people didn't, and that's good for them. But what I was waiting for, and you'll hear me say, because in the live recording, I said, guys, if the Qs close back below 527.69, I'm pretty okay with taking puts, and I would love to see the Qs all the way down to the pink line. Now, sadly for me, I did not hold to the pink line because I'm a wuss, but that's okay because I still made 42% on my money in what? 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And you know, when you can make a day's pay in 4 minutes, or 2 days, or 3 days, or a couple of weeks pay in 4 minutes, I mean, that's kind of the goal for me anyway. But nonetheless, beautiful trade to the downside. And the annoying part for me, and again, may not be a problem for you guys, but with the amount of people that I talk to every day, I think it's a problem for a lot of traders, including me, is that there was no real reason for me to get out of that trade. other than I earned a lot of money in a short period of time. That's exciting. So emotions do play a role. But We got below support levels. We stayed below those supports and turned them into resistances. There was literally no reason to get out of this trade. I just wish I would have waited until it got down to where I thought it was going to go, which was a minimum this first target low on the Qs. So remember, guys, these lines, these dotted lines here are 50% retracement levels. They work. It's crazy, but real support was the pre-market low, and the next support down was this first target solid line down here. So I really believe that Qs were going to make that run. I also believe that if they did, SPY was going to follow. And look at this from the entry here all the way down to where the Qs hit that line, which was all the way down here. That's a huge move. It doesn't look like it on these charts, but that's a big move. And the best part was ADD was going in our favor massively at that time. All right. Now, all of these circles that exist on the way down are all the times we were hitting new support levels on the Qs. I just stopped making lines on the Qs because, well, most of the people that are in my room in the morning were already done for the day making their money, right? SPY made it to its pink line. And then, of course, there are some people who did not take any trades yet. So we talked about another trade that was presenting itself here, which was a good one because some people took this as well. Off of lower highs, I said to everybody, this means we're more likely to break support. And if we break this support, we're looking for the next support down, minimum. If we get that, we'd be looking for this support down here. That was it. That was the last trade we talked about, except for this one, which there was a bunch of reasons. We'll go over that in a second. So again, lower highs, bad for calls. We're staying below a trend line. We're expecting to break support. We're hoping to turn that support into resistance. We're hoping to get down to the next support because that's what we're looking for in downtrends. If we get through that line, which took a couple of minutes, but we did put in another lower high, we were looking for the move to continue down. Now, the one thing that would have made this a little uncomfortable if you got in here was this guy here. But most of the people who took this trade got in up here. So this was still just a pullback, albeit slightly uncomfortable. But ultimately, we got down to the support that we really, really wanted to get to. So that was a banger of a trade. And then, like always, we ended up breaking our trend line, which takes puts off the table, especially because we closed above it. And then the rules of where are we looking to go start to play a role. Break the trend line. We want to get above the most recent resistance. If we do, where's the next resistance? It's right here. Broke resistance on this candle. Where's the next resistance? Right here. Did we get there? We sure did. Well, if we get above that resistance, okay, what we're hoping for is a move up to the next resistance, okay? But again, it's always better to buy on pullbacks. The support you needed to stay above was the one we created on the way up. We closed above resistance. We didn't really close above it until here, but with the people that got in back here, we were talking about you want to stay above this level right here, minimum. We're still aiming for the next resistance up, which was this candle right here. Higher lows all along the way. This was the one I finally said, guys, this is another higher low. And we've got good space before we get to our first resistance. And if we get through that, our next one, which was up here at 524.42. And as you can see, because you got in a little bit aggressively, we're expecting to break resistance because of higher lows. Looking for the next resistance, which it closed above, which means we're looking for the next resistance, which we got. Okay, and all the same time, ADD was printing green. So we had confluence. Confluence is good. And I'm sorry for the chart jumping all around on you, but that was the last trade we talked about because 30 minutes after that, I was done sipping a margarita tie. Just kidding, I wasn't sipping on anything. Yeah, then the chart was less entertaining after that until the close, which I don't know. I don't like to sit in front of a chart all day. It's not my dream job. That's not my retirement plan either. So I'm trying to work smarter, take advantage of shorter time while making all the money I need to pay my bills. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and listen quickly to the entry, the quick explanation, and the stop out point for me. And then we'll wrap up the video. So go ahead and watch this, and I'll see you on the other side. Ready, set, go. Steven, take us to the pink line. Take me to church, Steven. All right, so I'm not even going to put my video on the screen. During this trade, I was just riding the momentum that was to the downside. Qs closed below support, SPY closed below support, ADD was tanking. All we did was trail this on the way down and ultimately ended up getting stopped out. There is nothing, that should skip. Fuck, I got stopped out as well. All right, well, that was fun and exciting. All right, well, there you have it. Left a boatload of money on the table, but I felt good about the time I got in. It was pre-planned. We weren't able to play the put scenario because it took place before the market opened. Wasn't prepared for the call scenario because, well, I was looking for puts and the switchover happened too quick. But then I got my opportunity, as did a bunch of other people, and I took it. And I just didn't hold on long enough, but I held on long enough to make good money. So for me, that's good enough. And I hope you found some useful information in this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to join our Discord community, we would love to have you. There is a link down below. Come join us. It's a good time. If you'd like to buy my book, not only to support me and the guy who helped me write it, which is not very much, by the way. I only make $3 per book. Yep, you can get it right here. If you learn what goes on in that book, you can probably cover the cost of it pretty quickly. Probably. No guarantees, obviously. But that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope you had a great day in the markets today. And we'll get at it again tomorrow. Till then, I love you guys.